Hello, hello. It's Dr. Neka. You're listening to another episode of Victorious Working Mom podcast, and we have a special guest today, Dr. Dion. And we're just excited, honey. She is a whole medical doctor, an anesthesiologist, a mother, a wife, mother of three, I believe, correct?
Yes,
Mother
three,
of
yeah.
three, a wife. And then she got a whole business on top of that. So clearly, we are getting a profile and how to be a victorious working mom. We're very excited.
Yay.
Yay.
Thank you so much for having me, NECA. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah. I appreciate you taking out the time. I feel hold on. First of all, hold on. I got to show y'all that this saved my life. Okay, this changed the game for me. I put my scrubs on, put my cap on, and I'm good to go. It don't matter if I have cornrows, an afro braid.
Yes, yes,
Okay, it changed the
yes.
game. It
I
changed
mean,
the game. And
listen.
that inside is soft. Oh, they're very soft. See, you
Yes,
have to
so
see.
tell them,
My
well,
dear, I have to market it.
keeping
Let's
the
just stop.
edges
Okay,
together.
okay.
Yes,
I get plenty
yes,
compliments, man.
yes.
Plenty.
Yes, that was the whole point because my edges were trying to disappear because all they give us are the disposable scrub caps, and then the ones that are typically on the market are like the regular cotton ones that are just rubbing against your scalp. And then I also had just started having babies, and with postpartum hair, it was just a bad
Mm-hmm.
combination. So then I got into business with my in-law. She's like my sister-in-law essentially. Yeah, I have no sewing skills at all. She does the handiwork. I pick out the fabrics, pick out the styles. We work together to decide what's going to go into the market. And it was my idea to put the satin in it. Is I'm not the first to do it, but that was what I wanted for me, and I knew that other people needed this as well. And then all I get to wear is scrubs because I'm an anesthesiologist, so I'm just wearing blue scrubs all day. I don't get to wear the fancy fig scrubs that everyone wears on
Yeah.
Instagram. No, I don't get to wear those. I wear those boring blue scrubs.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing, the designs help me stand out and look cute. I get lots of compliments, just like you said. I really appreciate your support and the support of the sisters in our community who have really helped my business bloom. That it's just been really amazing
So
having.
something that just came out of this is my need. I
Yeah.
need something for you still want to do shakara in the
Exactly.
operating room. You needed that soft satin lining so to protect the edges. We must
Right.
protect the edges at all costs. And then it was like, wait, other people need it on top of a global pandemic.
Exactly. 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 So it all worked out perfectly. It really did. So we're working on the next line. So be on the lookout at zulisi.com, ZULISI.com. So currently it says everything is sold out because it is, but we have everything made. I'm just figuring out logistics because it's hard to do it. When I initially launched, I was doing everything as like a one-man show, very much a small business. Now I'm working on actually building an actual company with people who are helping me to do all of the little tasks that are required to get things rolling. So things are just moving automatically with ease and seamless so that my customers get their product on time, which wasn't an issue before, but I just want to make sure that
Right.
continues to be the standard that I can uphold moving forward.
Okay, the question is how? Because we just said you got a jobby job and a very intense one. For those who
Yeah.
might be listening and aren't in the medical field, the anesthesiologist is who's keeping you afloat, keeping you alive, keep you on this side of heaven during a surgery. You know what I'm saying? They is your doctor in that procedure. So it's a very important job. They got to get you under and get you back out. And that's nothing to take lightly. It's very intense. And then you still a spouse, you still have family relationships, you still have children, you still have your own personal life. How did you manage all that as the business that was an idea, but then it's wait a minute, it's a real demand for this because folk was like, can I get someone? I need one of those
It was
caps,
like,
man.
you were like
For real,
scratching
I would slide it in the DM.
the
I ain't gonna lie, I was in the get that. This is what you need. If the world's coming to the end, I want my edges
Yes.
protected. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And you brought up a great point because I did launch it during the pandemic. And that's when specialties that don't typically wear like the caps, I noticed that they started wanting to wear the caps.
Yeah.
And that really made my business take off. And I did not anticipate that. I really didn't. So what I would say, one, anesthesia, like the actual job itself is very intense. But I think part of the reason why I chose the specialty was very intentional. I really wanted the lifestyle. When I'm at work, it's like I'm on 10 the whole time. But once I'm done, I don't carry notes. I don't carry a pager unless I'm on call. Once I'm home, I don't have to think about anything. So that helps a lot. And then with my group, when I'm not on call, let's say I take a call, the next day I get the day off and I get weekends off. I have a nice vacation package with my group. So it does give me a lot of time to dedicate to my family and also have some spare time for my business. And then my husband has been a huge support. He's been basically like my partner in this. He's an entrepreneur himself and he just has that mind. So he's kind of helped me in terms of figuring out the logistics of how to run my company while he's doing his own thing. And that helps, when you have a partner, a husband who's supporting you both as a parent, co-parenting, being husband and wife, and then also in my business. So that's how I've been balancing it, and lots of prayer,
Yes.
lots of it.
I really wanted to key into some of the things you mentioned. Like I took a little note. Like I said, it sounds like boundaries is important to you.
Yeah.
Everything has its place, especially being strategic. Like I'm going to pick something that I can show up at work and then work don't show up at home. That is a
Yes.
huge issue for a lot of working moms. And then support, really picking your partner wisely,
Mm-hmm.
because that's a
Yes,
big burden for a lot of working moms. If you're the default parent and you're doing everything, it's a heavy load to carry.
it is.
And if you're basically raising the other person too, and you shout out to the single moms and in co-parenting situations, but even if you like in a loving marriage and you have a partner that come into it not as partnership, but like patriarchy. Okay,
Ah,
I love you because you're useful to me and you serve me and you take care of things. But who take care of me? I
ex-
get take care of. What about my dream? Because some people might be like, "Yo, whole medical doctor, why are you doing inside business?" If your spouse understands the vision because they have their own, that's a whole lot easier.
yes.
Yeah. Remember in
Yeah.
the Proverbs 31 wife, the husband was praising her. He
Yep.
wasn't like, why are you, what is this thing you're doing? So just if it's happening in your home, that's what we say prayer.
Yep.
If you don't, if you have the support, then you praise them. We're gonna believe God for your
Yes.
village. So who else is a part of the village? Because you have children, and then how are you fleshing out the team for the business?
So can I just speak a little bit more to what you were just
Yes,
talking?
please.
Because I do think being intentional is so important when you're choosing your spouse. And my personality, I let you know who I am, all take it or leave it. And when my husband and I were like getting to know each other in the getting to know each other phase, we made it clear we wanted to build a legacy. That's just something that we decided that we wanted to do. He knew I was in medicine and I knew he was an entrepreneur, but we wanted to build something great to pass down to our children. And we knew that full streams of income would be involved
Mm.
in that. And I think I learned so much from him because he's been a business. This is what he's been doing his whole, I guess, working career. He was in corporate America for a little bit, but he's always had that business mind. So I tap into that and he encourages that. And this is something we decided together that was a goal of ours before we even got married. And I think that was key. So I think that plays a role. I think that's was intentional for me, like choosing that was part of the reason why I was like, okay, I really like this guy. I like someone who has a vision for where he's going to steer this ship. Because when we're talking about, I guess, a Christian marriage, for me, I was looking for someone who was going to be the head of the household. Yes, I'm in a career where I could be the breadwinner for per se. I could because we have you and I we have specialties that can bring in a good amount of bacon, but we still want someone to be and my husband has those leadership characteristics, and that's very much so what he does. He has vision, and that is what drew me to him, and that is what continues to like allow us to move forward and have all of these different projects that we work on despite having our individual careers and having our family. So I just wanted to bring that up. But in terms of the village, because that's key for child rearing, I was not ever planning on moving. I grew up in Illinois.
Okay.
And I never planned on coming back. I was like the daughter who had strict parents, and I was like, I'm done with you people. Y'all are crazy. I love my parents. They're amazing, but they were just like the tiger
I
mom.
understand.
No, Nigerian.
I know.
In my head, when I was in residency, because I didn't meet my husband till maybe third year. And so in my mind, single. So I'm like, oh, I'm going to move to Texas, where it's at. Texas and their doctor. But then I met my husband, and he was from Northwest Indiana, which is close to the Chicago area. So that brought me back to Illinois. And that was the biggest blessing for me, because me being close to my parents and to his mom has been amazing. My parents practically live with me. They're with us all the time. Whenever I help, they are there. Half the food in my fridge, my mom cooked it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit spoiled.
Shout out.
A bit spoiled.
You're not spoiled, my dear. You're blessed. It's blessing.
Yeah, you can see the little chin. I'm trying to lose it because my mom, the cookie, I can't.
Yeah. Did you eat? I eat.
Like I'm like, Mom, seriously, I could not do without them. I have a live-in nanny too. And so that combination, live-in nanny, my parents, my in-laws, that has helped my husband and I have the ability to be sane, because we're outnumbered. These kids are a lot. Even one child, it was a lot. But now that we have three, it's a lot. Having them with us has been our saving.
That is really important. No, by no means are you spoiled. It's a blessing. I definitely can relate. I actually did do I'm going to Texas. Then I ended up back in St. Louis, Missouri, where I was born and raised, because at the point I had 3 children. It's more than a notion. It's more than a notion. Friend groups, and if that shifts and you just need support, you need support. And now that definitely helps with pick up drop-offs. And yes, I do have help in the home, but it does take a village when you have a work schedule, your husband trying to figure things out and get places. Retired grandparents come through with the pick up the drop-off. Yeah.
The drop-off is key, because our positions starts early and we end so late. We really need someone who we trust to be there to help pick up our kids, take them to daycare, take them to school. I really would not be surviving here. And then even when we travel too, like I don't feel comfortable. I love the living nannies that we have, but I'm a person who I need my parents.
I understand.
Yeah.
And I think the thing I love that you said, Dr. Dion, was at no point did you put yourself down or say, oh, because I work this job, I'm not a good mom, I'm not a good wife. Oh, we take the shame out of it and just meet the needs. You were like, I have a need. Meet the need. We are happy. Now we can crush those goals. But I think sometimes if we get into worldly thinking, it's crush my goals, suppress my needs, ignore my feelings. And it's no, like you're able to do this because you're being real, and you have people around you that support your vision. And I don't think I know there's times in my life where I didn't feel like I had it or how to ask for it. So it's important if you're going through, if work ain't working, if it's if home don't feel homely, trust that God can turn that thing around and provide what you need. And it may not look the way you think it's going to look, but it's going to be all right.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I actually just switched jobs in June. I didn't realize, despite the fact that I have this village for me, but I didn't realize that I was working so much. There's always an element of mom guilt, element of it, but we're practical because we've worked so hard to get to where we are and what we're trying to achieve. And I know the background that I came from, very simple class, and we're just trying to get to provide our children with something better. And That's what we want. We want to give them everything that we didn't have. But my thing and my reason for choosing anesthesia, the other part was to be present. I want to be present for my children. They know that I'm to love on them, to put them in activities and all that good stuff. I wasn't really able to do that with my previous job, but I don't think I realized I was doing it, but I was like stretching myself real thin to do it. And God just really pulled me out of that situation. Really, God, He's just amazing. Because sometimes you don't realize the chaos that's happening in your life and you just crawl your way through it and you're just like, it's physically affecting you. And then our group or the hospital went with a national group, work in emergency rooms and urgent care
Urgent care, yeah.
About how national groups
all this private equity stuff.
Hospital went with a private equity group, and I was like, I don't want to work for them because it's just not going to be good. So then I made a decision to go work for another private practice, and it's been the best decision ever. And I realized I was working like a dog. My schedule has changed dramatically. I'm seeing my kids significantly more, spending more time with them, and they sense it too. And it's just been really beautiful. And I just praise God that He took me out of that situation. He allowed me to see something that I wasn't really seeing clearly. You know what I mean? I don't even know how to explain it. Sometimes you feel like your world is falling apart. You feel like you don't know what the next step is going to be. You're like, why is all of this happening right now? Why are they going with this private equity group? Because I love the hospital that I work for. I love the staff. Everything was great. Now that I've transitioned, I'm just like, God, now I see what you were doing for me. Because these kids are only going to be young for so long. My firstborn is 5 and he's in kindergarten. I cried like taking him to the bus. And I'm like, I can't believe that you are in school. You know what I mean? They grow up and I'm so glad that He thrust me out of that situation so that I can really enjoy that time. Because that was the whole point of me getting to this career in the first place, to have this opportunity with my kids. But anyways, I went off on a tangent. I just wanted.
Oh no, it's an important tangent. I really squeezed the juice out of that, because a lot of us are taught to just adapt to the environment, and you were like, no, the environment got to adapt to me. It's not meeting my need. This don't work for me and my family, so this don't work. Then suffer in silence for what?
Yes.
So that's really important. We're responsible to meet our needs. And if the environment's not conducive, it's time to change.
Absolutely.
It's time to make a change.
Yeah.
A lot of people are afraid to do that, or you learn about what the people at the job think. Girl, bye.
Afraid to do that. Because I trained in the East Coast. I trained, but East Coast, it was different. Okay. It was a little bit toxic. And I go to a place where everyone's so friendly. He said, you get comfortable.
Yeah.
But then you don't realize that, you might get comfortable with the people, but you're also losing out on family time. And you don't want to, no one wants to change. You don't want to get out of your comfort zone, but you really need to if you want to.
Oh, you preaching to me on today. I lift my hands up. You preaching.
And sometimes when you don't do it, God is just going to push you anyways, because you need to do it. Your family needs it. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. There's been so many situations in my life, like even relationships that I've been in, that have crumbled in the most dramatic ways. And I'm just like, God, why did this happen this way? And I wallow in depression and all that stuff. And then when I look back, I'm like, wow, you know what? Because I wasn't going to do it myself. If it was up to me, I would have stayed in that situation, and who knows what would have happened. But because He took me out, I'm here now with my amazing husband. You know, no marriage is perfect, but today he's amazing.
Okay, shout out to husbands.
He's amazing husband and 3 beautiful children. You know what I mean? If I didn't get out of that, if He didn't pull me out of that situation, I would not be where I am today. And I always just give God all of that, all of the glory, all of the praise, all of the honor, because it is really Him. You know what I mean? Really Him. I can't take credit for that. And so a lot of times people ask me, oh, how do you do this? How do you do that? I'm like, it's God. I really want to take credit. I really want to say I did X, Y, Z. But when I really look back, I'm like, when I look at If it was up to me, I would have stayed in this. I would have stayed here. God pulled me out. He pulled the rug under my feet and got me out of that situation. It seemed rough at the time, but it was for my good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's a testimony. That
It
is a
is.
testimony. And it's like we want that security then to
Yeah.
make that shift. And guys, no, I got something for you on the other side of it. I
Yeah.
definitely can resonate with that. Well, Dr. Dean, I could probably, we could probably go a whole nother 30 minutes. I got so many questions. We might have to bring you back. We might have to do a part 2 because I know you're booked and busy and catch you maybe when the kids are at school or something. But you dropped some gems, y'all. This is a pen and paper episode. She talked about real boundaries, being intentional, having a vision, having support, the family, the spouse, having a and not being ashamed of it. No, this is what it takes to be great, to do what I need to do to show up fully. And being intentional, building a legacy, having a vision, normalize mom guilt. We all feel guilty. We all feel guilty. We all do. But in that, don't make the guilt make you make bad decisions, staying at jobs you need to leave, buying too much for the kids or overindulging them. We feel the guilt, but don't let it rule you. And meeting needs is key. I think the biggest thing out of what you said, first is it's God. God is in control. We're all talented. We're all smart, dynamic, but it's not it's not our talent or our intelligence that's going to keep us. It's God. So that's number 1. And number 2 is it's important to meet needs. Ain't no future in the front, ladies.
Nope.
You got needs, recognize it, meet it. Take the shame and the drama out of it. Ain't nobody pretending to be superwoman. We serve a super God that can provide. So bring those needs out because that'll meeting needs cuts down on a lot of resentment.
Yes.
And if the environment doesn't suit you, you change the environment.
Yep.
Unashamed. Take a lot of the stress is taking what they gonna think, and I don't know. I don't know. I know I need my needs met. What do I do to meet the need? If I need more family, if I need a different job, if I need different work hours, just meet your need and trust that God's going to help you meet it. It's simple. Everything else is extra.
Period. Okay to be selfish.
Yes. Dr. thank you so much for taking the time again. She's getting the caps together and the new collection of line is Feel the Satin, Save the Edges. Zulisi, ZULISI.com.
Yes.
Okay. If you got to slide in the DMs, you're like, look, I'm on the wait list. Just put mine to the side when it comes through.
Send you samples.
Okay.
So you can okay.
Okay. I am so excited. Thank you, Dr. Dion. Thank you so much. And then if we wanted to follow you on the social medias, what are your handles?
Dr._Adora, ADAORA on Instagram, and same handle for TikTok.
Okay, we got some TikToks.
Zulisi.shop for Instagram.
All right. So the store has an Instagram, and then your personal is Dr._Adora.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, y'all. We have another amazing episode of Victorious Working Mom. So you got some faith-based chronic stress management solutions. All right. Take care. Bye.